RIP Scottie Scheffler? What? What are you talking about, Skip Bayless? Choosing golf over faith. This I don't know about. If you're going to talk about sports, people are going to disagree. The world is actually coming to him, and that's a very good thing. I did Skip Bayless's show a few weeks ago. I'm cool with Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless was nice to my son when I brought him to ESPN in his heyday, and I got no problems with Skip Bayless, and that's where it comes in. If you're going to talk about sports, people are going to disagree. And I got to tell you, I don't necessarily agree or disagree with Skip Bayless very much. I don't pay that much attention, obviously, particularly now, but this I don't know about. Actually, I do know about. This is kind of a new low. This is kind of crap. He's taking shots at Scottie Scheffler for supposedly choosing golf over faith. What? And fatherhood. Apparently, grinding to be the best in the world at your possession isn't enough unless it fits into Skip's work version of priority. Skip's attack on family and faith. Skip doesn't think that you should have faith and family above golf. You should be grinding away. It's even more ridiculous when you look at the late Ryan Sandberg's comments and how those aspects of his life fueled him. I think we got this backwards. He's taking shots at Scottie Scheffler because Scheffler says, yeah, golf ain't that important. Like most, Bayless was intrigued by Scheffler's comments just before the start of the Open. The number one golfer in the world spoke about the internal battle that he faced, trying to figure out exactly the point is in putting in so much time and effort to win golf tournaments the world forgets about 5 minutes later. If you read Ecclesiastes in the Bible, it basically tells you there ain't nothing to all this. This is just dust. Don't worry about it. During the viral moment, Scheffler spoke about how winning golf tournaments is not what defines him as a person and how his belief in God and being the best father, husband, etc. he can possibly be far outweighs anything he does on a golf course. Long story short, he finds more fulfillment in being a believer, a father, a husband, than he does being the best golfer on the planet. During a recent monologue on his podcast, Skip Bayless explained that he believes in God and the Bible and attends a Methodist church, which means faith in it is an important part of his life. But he thinks that Scheffler priorities aren't in proper order. He believes winning as many golf tournaments as he can, especially before turning 30, should trump faith and family. Okay, here's Skip Bayless.
Scottie Scheffler, who works hard at never saying anything to the media, just suddenly absolutely unloaded in a press conference about how winning major championships just wasn't fulfilling to him anymore, just didn't mean anything to him anymore compared to being a great father and a great husband. What? A guy who has a chance to be Tiger Woods, maybe even be Michael Jordan, was questioning what it all means on the eve of a major championship that he'd never won? My initial reaction was, well, R.I.P. Scottie Scheffler as a major championship winner. You know me, I'm all about the GOATs being cold-blooded sports killers, being obsessed with winning to the potential detriment of everything else in their lives. Nothing made them happier than dominating. So it was that I was jolted and jarred by what Scottie Scheffler said on the eve of the British Open. No, Scottie, no. God gave you spectacular ability to play the world's hardest game, gave you the strongest competitive drive since Tiger. And you can't just shrug it off at age 29 and focus on, as you said, being a better father than a golfer, Scottie. No, God wants you to maximize the platform from which you can honor him and encourage fans to open their hearts to him, to God.
Look, here's the way I look at it, and maybe I'm wrong. Scottie Scheffler, at his age, with his accomplishments, can say anything he wants. He can say anything he wants, and it isn't really going to matter. Like, he could say, this stuff doesn't matter to me. Well, because he's got all of it. Ask the number 200 ranked player. Ask the guy trying to grind it out and get on tour. Ask the guy that every freaking Friday has to make putts to get into the weekend. So that's one way I look at it. The other way is this. That's ridiculous thinking because the way Scheffler operates works. I mean, think about it for a second. When you watch Joel Damon play or you watch that full swing, Joel Damon is a clown. Joel Damon is a guy that is not, let's just use what Bayless is saying, glorifying God by using the gifts he has. The ultimate in this is John Daly. John Daly is a buffoon. John Daly is a clown. John Daly is an absolute embarrassment to those of us that didn't have talent but busted our ass, tried to figure it out to get to a certain level, and that level, at least for me and others, is capped. Mine was capped at playing major college basketball. Others are capped in high school. Some are capped by just making an NBA team. What Scottie Scheffler is doing and how he prioritizes his life is working beautifully, perfectly for him. I never pretend, ever, except when I see someone like Damon or somebody, Damon, whatever the hell his name is, or somebody like Daly, and it pisses me off. I knew guys walking the streets, the school of high schools that were more talented basketball players than me, and I loved kicking their ass because I worked harder. I had my priorities in line. The idea that Scottie Scheffler in his golf career is doing anything, and I mean anything wrong, is laughable to me. Absolutely laughable. Sure, he said what he said. Well, guess what? The results prove that the way he's going about it work. The results say that he has become the prime example for golf, but more importantly, the prime example in sports, publicly, for fatherhood, for being a husband. Because when Scottie Scheffler talks of these things, he speaks sincerely. Tiger Woods, we all felt, was manufactured. We did. Everybody did. If you didn't, I don't know what you were paying attention to. Tiger Woods felt manufactured, and eventually when you're manufactured and you're not real, what happens? Well, what happens is exactly what happens to Tiger Woods. See, it is almost impossible. In fact, it is impossible to criticize anything Scottie Scheffler has done over the past 2 years. I guess we got to dig deep to find some nonsense. And that nonsense is R.I.P. Scottie Scheffler? What? R.I.P.? The dude just keeps winning. In fact, I don't know. He made the Open Championship, which is considered worldwide to be the most important event in golf, look easy. He did. People are talking about he's making golf look boring. And part of it sure is his personality. But don't we need a little bit of that these days? Don't we need a little bit of boring as dudes are beating the crap out of people in the middle of a street? People are shooting up downtowns. People are walking into NFL buildings, 345 Park Avenue, and shooting them up. Don't we need, don't we want, don't we desire a little bit of, hey, look at this father. Look at this husband. And look at these titles. Yeah, the answer is yes, we do. So to say R.I.P., whatever else the conversation is, I go to church, you go to church, blah, 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 fine. You want to bring that in, fine. But R.I.P.? Scottie Scheffler? I don't know, man. See, last thing. In the world we live in, talk matters way too much. Way too much. I mean, think about it. Scottie Scheffler said words, and Skip Bayless is going off on those words. But nobody looks at the actions. The actions, at least according to me, my parents, the way I was brought up, the people that I was brought up with, speak far louder than words. I get it. Times are changed. We've got phones right here on this desk. I've got a phone. I've got an iPad. I've got a computer. I've got a monitor. I've got a camera. I got lights. I got all kind of shit. I got a TV, smart TV, sitting right behind me. I get it. The world's different. But God dang, you're going to nitpick Scottie Scheffler? No, No, it's complete bullshit. Well, let's go to the late Ryan Sandberg, what he just said, and compare this. Commitment, work ethic, and dreams, they're all good words. Faith, family, friends, and love. Those are also very good words. They are probably the best words for me. I'm not here without all those words. That's right. Man. Keep doing what you're doing, Scottie Scheffler. The world is actually coming to him. Good, and that's a very good thing. Hey, you enjoying the show? Yesterday's rant was ridiculously good. I can't believe it didn't get more traction all across. Go take a look. I go off, and I liked it. Of course you are. See, you can go get yesterday's rant if you missed it. You can go get it at youtube.com/@OutKick/videos. You can like, you can comment, and you can subscribe. That way, you'll never miss any of our great content. That's right. Like if you miss a day or somebody told you about something, it's right there. Just subscribe to youtube.com. You'll get alerts, and there you go. Go to our page. Hell, over 1.75 million people have already. Join the party. Don't be late. What are you doing? All right, another scandal is in professional sports. Guardians closer Manuel Clase has been placed on Major League Baseball's non-disciplinary paid leave list, joining teammate, starting pitcher, and locker mate. They sit next to each other. Luis Ortiz, he was placed on the same list back July 3rd. Clase's good, man. He's 27 years old, right in the middle of his prime, 3-time All-Star, 2-time winner of the Mariano Rivera Award as the best relief pitcher in the American League. That's pretty good. He finished 3rd in the AL Cy Young Award voting last year. 0.61 ERA, 74 in a third inning. Now this year a little different, 47 in a third innings. Got 3.23 ERA. He's allowed more hits this year, 46 than last year, 39, while striking out 47 and walking 12. Now there are certain things going on with this. It's called micro betting, which means you bet on little things. Which means I don't know how or who got to him, but apparently first pitch ball is a bet. And apparently 7 of the 40 first pitches that he has thrown have been way out of the strike zone. Like bounced in front of home plate, high and wide, down and out, whatever it is. And coincidentally, on a few of those, I think they're talking about 2 total pitches. They're talking about heavy betting on those pitches. See, I want you to think about that just for a second. They can go down to the pitch and check out when you are betting. How much is being bet on it. Here's what I'm saying. First pitch betting, let's say every time Clase comes in the game. It's for the sake of argument. Let's say there's a $100 average bet every time he comes in over his 40 times coming in, okay? Let's just say 7 of those times, for the sake of argument, there's $2,000, 20 times the betting. People look at that. There's algorithms that set off alarms on that. And Major League Baseball is investigating. But it gets deeper. There's a guy named Randy Johnson, not the pitcher Randy Johnson. He's a media guy. He said, shocking, sarcastically, Major League Baseball that gets billions from the gambling industry has a problem with what? Gambling? Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so. Rob Manfred, who is the Major League Baseball commissioner, said this: there are certain types of bets that strike me as unnecessary and particularly vulnerable. He's right. I know there was a lot of sports betting, tons of it, that went on illegally, and we had no idea what threats they were to the integrity of the play because it was not transparent. Here's Manfred further. I firmly believe that the transparency and monitoring that we have in place now as a result of the legalization and the partnerships that we've made puts us in a better position to protect baseball than we were before. Really? Now, that's a one way to slice it. Hey, look, betting is legal. now we can monitor it. Sure. But when betting wasn't legal, did you have really any problems? I mean, did you? I mean, I know you had the Black Sox 100 years ago. Okay. But did you really have any problems? And were as many people betting and as many people free to bet and look and say, hey, I can bet Class A's first pitch. I can either win or lose without having to watch a 9-inning game. Do you really think that legalized gambling, because of what you just said, makes it better, makes the game more exempt from gambling type issues? Really? Hey, if you do, good. That's one way to spin it right there. That's one way to spin against the quote that I gave you from not the big throwing Randy Johnson, the other Randy Johnson. That's one way to spin it. I get it. That's good. But again, I go to actions. Other than Pete Rose betting on his team, which really nobody gave a crap about, did baseball have any scandals? Like, if nobody knew about Class A doing this, and this was done in some back room somewhere with some of his buddies, let's say in the basement of his house or wherever he's from, or middle of New York or downtown Indy, would anybody really care? Did it really affect the game? Sure it did. You can't throw an intentional ball, but did anybody care? Was there any scandal? I'm not saying anybody's right in this. You know, I am saying this, though. This is a good way of couching it. Look, here's the deal. If I were a baseball manager, a basketball coach, a hockey, whatever they call it, a soccer manager, the one thing that I would do, and I did this as a head coach, but this was before legalized gambling, I would teach my players what happens, the consequences of gambling. And I did that. Guy at Bowling Green, announcer being let off in cuffs, and you clearly see, this is going back 70s, 80s, you could clearly see that he had a Bowling Green MAC championship ring on. He had been gambling on games with an illegal group, got caught. Toledo basketball, they actually threw a game against us, thank goodness, because I had a great night because they were kicking our ass. But I would teach them the consequences, but also I would teach my players how easy it is for you to get caught. Think about this. Rob Manfred is telling you right now, transparency and monitoring that we have in place, because it's now legalized, because we now use phones. Easy to get caught. Easy. Hell, the Alabama baseball coach got caught really quickly because all of a sudden, same thing. His buddies were making big bets. They saw who was doing it. They tracked his phone. It went back to the Alabama baseball coach, got his ass fired. Didn't take but a minute. So the monitoring is right. But don't try to couch this as you're doing a service by having legalized gambling. All right, we got Kissgate, and I'm not talking about, what was it, that Spanish Federation football kissing the girl after they won the World Cup and all hell broke loose? No. The Raiders sent shockwaves, yes, shockwaves across the NFL this week when they released star and stud defensive tackle Christian Wilkins just a year into his 4-year, $110 million contract with the Raiders. They were unpleased with how their pricey defensive lineman was attacking his rehab while recovering from a Jones fracture he suffered in his foot. Okay, but now more is coming out. Details emerging about a separate incident that may have been the final straw. Here's Shefty on Christian Wilkins.
Is he? How injured is he? When's he back? What happens here with Christian Wilkins?
Again, from speaking to people inside the locker room, I think what everybody's dancing around and tiptoeing around is the fact that when you speak to people there inside the locker room, they say that Christian playfully went to kiss a teammate on top of his head, and those same people said that player took offense to it. So that's what everybody's been dancing around and tap dancing around, an incident in the locker room where he allegedly playfully kissed a teammate on top of his head. That teammate felt offended by it. And that's what a lot of this talk and speculation that people have just been floating around out there is about.
Okay, so he kissed a teammate on the forehead in a playful manner. Teammate said, "Nope, not doing that." and went to H&R and reported this entire thing, basically, is what happened?
I think that's probably a fair and accurate way of saying things, yeah.
So,
but
that tells me a lot of things, quickly. That tells me a lot of things. So, if that happens in the locker room and then they go and report it, that means the locker room probably didn't fuck with them, right? Feels like?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like?
That individual, for sure. I mean, you see some different things in the locker room. There are different people. This would classify as weird.
Yeah.
It is weird, but I ain't buying it. No, I ain't buying it. I'm not buying this even a little bit. Not even sort of. Not even close. There's so much more to this. He didn't just playfully kiss a guy on the head. He might have wrapped his hands around, grabbed down there. He's a known poker of the booty. No. You can sell, hey, Davey, we're not buying this stuff. We're not buying this, are we? Come on.
Dan,
there's more to this.
Definitely more to it. There's no way, and I think they've mentioned this is not the sole reason that led to him being cut, but you could tell there's friction within that locker room. It's not like the Raiders have exactly been a very stable franchise as of late, and this is just another incident that's going on behind the scenes.
There's no doubt. No doubt. I mean, there's so much crap here. Look, the Raiders want to win. All right? They paid a guy a bunch. One of two things is happening here. Either they don't think he's going to be healthy, so they want to get out from under that contract, and they're using whatever this incident is. Or two, there's so many of these incidents that they've just had enough. Whether it's grabbing guys, something about, I'm telling you right now, something about male genitalia will come out. I'm telling you, Davey, something sexual, weird, I'm telling you. And the Raiders are like, man, you know what? We can't have a dude that just walks around here doing this crap. It's just too effing goofy. It is. It's too weird. I'm telling you, Davey, something about the male genitalia, the booty, the tongue, the package is going to come out on this. If, in fact, let's say he takes it to arbitration, Davey. If he takes it to arbitration, then people are going to talk, right? I mean, hey, it's going to be fascinating. Does someone pick him up, and does he take it to arbitration to get his money?
I don't see anybody.
Interesting.
I don't see anybody taking on his contract, Dan. And this is the first year of Pete Carroll. They're trying to get a new culture within that locker room, and it seems like this guy just does not fit what they're trying to do.
No, it seems like, and it's going to be interesting because we always talk about this. We always say talent wins, right? Talent. If you got enough talent, and we'll talk to Mark Schlereth about this. If you have enough talent, or you better have enough talent to overcome your problems, right? I mean, that's the mantra in sports. So apparently he did. Apparently they got tired of him. But I'm telling you, something about the booty.
I'm marking it down, Dan. I'm making a note. We'll come back to it.
Make a note. If, in fact, I'm sure this guy isn't just going to go away. I mean, he's got agents that want their money, right? I mean, he's got lawyers. Mark it down. Mark it down. Something where we're going to go, oh, that's just gross. That's, I mean, I'm telling you, I've seen it, and I never. All right, on the injury front, the Raiders are reportedly voiding. This is where they're at here. The remaining $35.2 million left in the guaranteed agreement on Wilkins' contract due to how he treated his rehab assignment following the injury. What they're saying is, you didn't work hard enough. You didn't do what our doctors wanted, so we're voiding $35 million. Wilkins was released with the designation of terminated vested veteran per Scheffler. Wilkins has asked the NFL Players Association, here we go, to file a grievance. All right, let's get a hearing going. I want to hear what this is about. File a grievance on his behalf due to the Raiders wanting to void his guaranteed money, and they did so on Thursday. You got to get rid of a cancer. You do, particularly when, other players were asked. One of them said, look, the only thing I'll say is if you are struggling, get help. Like when the players know you're a freak, when the players know you're a fool, when the players know you're just too weird to have around walking around naked, you got to go. Unless you're the quarterback. I don't know, sending dick pics or something like Favre or being a douchebag like Rodgers. I don't know. But, no, there's something weird here, and I'm keeping my eye out for it because, as we all know, I like the weird. I like to find out what's going on. All right, hey, the WNBA is on a roll. It's on an absolute roll. We got wigs flying off. And by the way, I want to get into something. It's unlike any other, only in the WNBA, would a game be forced to stop as a result of a player, Phoenix Mercury's Kayla Cooper, getting her wig knocked off. With a fan then ejected from the game as a result of making fun of the entire ordeal. The WNBA is fantastic, baby. My wife, the lovely Lee Ross Dakich, we call her LLRD, said, hey, lady, sorry about your luck. We all been humiliated. We've dropped pop-ups, balls through our leg, whatever. This woman, Cooper, didn't come back. She was too humiliated. Why do we give a shit about these women's feelings? We don't give a damn about any real sports league's feelings. But we're so sensitive to these women's feelings. It's beautiful. No, it's beautiful. The announcing team was ridiculous. Megan McPeak and Christy Winters Scott simply referred to the stoppage as a malfunction and spoke as if they were, I don't know, on the verge of breaking some unwritten rule about the wig incident. Here's Will Cain's breakdown. This is really good. Will Cain, leave it to him. We got to get Will on. There's so much clown world ridiculousness going on in this clip. Running off the court because your wig fell. Fan ejected for making fun. But most of all, the announcers won't even say what is happening. The WNBA has the worst announcing crews in America. It's like they get every little douchebag girl and every little douchebag guy that can't get a job. It's kind of like referees anywhere else. And they put them, and they're all told to act a certain way. Honest to God. We need to have a fan removed. The players were saying they made fun of the situation on the court. Yeah, they did. I would have every fan that didn't make the fan or didn't make fun of it. I'd be like, wait a second, Davey, you're not making fun of this. Get your ass out of here because this is too funny. Honest to God, here are some of the screenshots. I hope that fan that got tossed was refunded the full $6. So they rewarded the fan by not letting them watch another minute of the game? I'll remember that. It's that old joke, right? I left 2 tickets out hoping somebody would steal them to the Phoenix Mercury Connecticut Sun game. Not only did they not steal them, they punished me by leaving me 2 more. And then last night, it only gets better with this ridiculous league. Oh, I love it. Someone threw a dildo on the floor in the middle of a WNBA game. It's a bright-colored dildo. See, if they had any sense of humor, a lady or even a dude, coach, would have started using it and laughing. Some points you got to laugh at stuff. Look, there are idiots that attend every game, but only the feelings of the little girls do we worry about. Oh, my God, somebody made fun. Oh, my God. People are idiots. I mean, look, you want attention, you're going to get idiots. My question is, how the hell did they get a dildo into the arena? Like, my wife said when we went to the game, she had to have a little purse, see-through or whatever. I ain't sticking it down my pants and going through. See, hey, Davey, you go to a WNBA arena. You got to go through the scanner. Now, I know it's rubber. Maybe it does. All of a sudden, you got this dildo down your pants. I don't know. I don't want to be the guy that in front of other people has to pull that bad boy out and put it on the, and go through security.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Dan,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, there's always that moment. They're like, all right, get your wallet, your keys, and your phone, put them in the box, and the next thing you know, somebody's just adding a dildo in there. I can't imagine that happened. They had to sneak this in. This was the liveliest part of the game, Dan.
Hold on. Is there such thing as an emotional support dildo?
There is not. That's the first time those terms, I think, have been used together, Dan. So I'll give you A for creativity.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't know, but go ahead, Davey. How do you get it in? I don't know.
It's just, I mean, I doubt they're patting everybody down. I know for whenever you walk through, it's probably just something that doesn't show up or they're not paying that close of attention. I watched unfortunately we can't show it, but the 30 seconds of gameplay between when that was thrown, that was the liveliest part. I mean, the shooting, terrible, defense, subpar. It was definitely the highlight of the game.
Oh, my God. I mean, I don't know. What do people have? What are they called? Service animals? What do they call them? Emotional support? Service? Maybe it dropped out of one of the girls. Maybe they use it for, I don't know. These are the questions that inquiring minds want to know. They want to know, Davey, how did we get the dildo in? And how do we justify that? How do we justify getting a dildo into the game? I don't have the answer. All I can think is that, all right, sticking with the WNBA, man, this is odd. Speaking with the WNBA, this is scary because I got one. I got a lot. I got one going on right now. Caitlin Clark's weirdo stalker, 55-year-old Michael Lewis of Denton, Texas, has been sentenced to 2.5 years in prison after he sent Clark numerous threatening and sexually explicit messages via social media. Here's the video going back. This is going back a minute.
Morning, Mr. Lewis.
Guilty.
No, sir. This is initial hearing.
Oh.
We are not. You have a right to remain silent, and I expect you to exercise that. Okay, this is just telling you what the charges are. You do not listen. I'll give you a chance to talk. Not your time.
Throw me the bookie.
Stop talking.
Well, this idiot sent texts like this. Been driving around your house 3 times a day. Don't call the law just yet. The public is allowed to drive by Gainbridge, a.k.a. Caitlin's field house. I'm getting tickets, sitting behind the bench. They said I was sending threatening texts, but the only thought on my mind was, Caitlin, what? I got a guy right now. Is this considered threatening? I don't know. It's like every day I get this. I'm going to see you at your next event, sucker. Have yo shit straight, pussy. This is text sent to me today, this morning. We both live in Carmel. I don't. We can meet at the Walmart and have at it, fruitcake. You went to college for 4 years just to be stupid, you white, racist, bald head bitch. That's threatening. Before that, he put, I knew a few places you was at. I could had pulled up on you. But I ain't think that was gangster. I wanted to pull up and look you in your eyes and talk to you like a man. I can't wait to catch you out in public. I'm going to slap fire from your bitch ass. A little white dude in his basement. But that seems very threatening to me. That does not seem anything other than threatening. Look, I had a 10-year stalker. I kind of take these things very seriously. I hope that fucking guy goes to jail for more than 2.5 years. I hope they don't let him out early. I don't. I hope they keep him because, look, here's the problem. And this is the problem I have right now with this. The guy knows what I look like. I don't know what he looks like. The guy knew what Caitlin Clark looks like. He'll know what he looks like. Good to get this guy off the street. Good to set an example, 2.5 years. Keep his ass behind bars and let it be a warning to anybody else. You're going to spend a lot of time speaking of weird sex shit in prison. I hope all the weird sex shit happens. Because frankly, people that are stalkers are sick, and the people that they stalk have to deal with them, and sometimes it can be terrifying. This little white wannabe ain't terrifying. That dude, terrifying. Reports are claiming that this idiot from Texas acted erratically at his sentencing Monday, yelling and claiming the world was ending. Lewis had previously pled not guilty, while shouting guilty as charged at the judge. How about that? Many longtime newspapers changing subjects have jumped the shark with regards to ridiculous commentary. Almost always slanting, aggressively left-wing, sometimes radically so. But the San Francisco Chronicle is living up to the San Francisco Chronicle. They're probably the worst. Here's a screenshot of their nonsense. Colin posted over the weekend, titled, listen to this. Here's what it was. Trans ban part of Trump's quest to ruin Olympics. One step at a time. Really? That's his plan? Oh, all right. Oh, boy. It shows you just how far gone the newspaper, which was founded in 1865, is. The writer, some guy named, Scott Ostler. Scott Ostler's been a writer for a long time. Just a douchebag. Has apparently worked at the paper since 91. His bio labels him a sports columnist. Of course, based on the article alone, that seems generous. Scott Ostler. These liberal tears, they taste so good now that Trump is winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. Saltiness next level. Poor Scott. I love his line of when he isn't cheating at golf. President Trump's idea of sportsmanship is banning the few U.S. transgender athletes who might reach the Olympics in Los Angeles. Good. Clears way for more women. Easy. The idea that banning men from women's sports is part of Trump's quest to ruin sports. Really? Not to protect women? I'll keep going. It's one of the most gaslighting headlines. Most gaslighting headlines I've ever read. This is from Danny Z. Ostler is trying to convince people that banning men from women's sports is ruining sports. But of course, we all know any rational thinking non-douchebag knows that the opposite is true. People like Ostler who are perfectly willing to sacrifice safety and fairness in women's sports in the name of inclusivity are the ones attempting to ruin sports. Odd position for a, quote, sports columnist to take. I have the answer. Scott, I'm inclusive, baby. Always have been, always will be. Play against the men. All right.